In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to get a G-Rank Tunturum in a Rise crossover. But before we go do that, would you guys like some chance to win a free Game Pass? All you need to do is drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment your Roblox username down below. I give away multiple Game Passes every week. Anyway guys, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay, so there's actually two different ways to go ahead and obtain this shadow, or at least two main different ways. I'm going to go over this one as the first one, and then later on in the video I will show you guys the other method, which is arguably more effective than this one. But to start off with, we are all the way over in Kingdom City, because we're going to go ahead and show the dungeon method for this part of the video. So the first thing we need to do as we get over here is make sure we have our spawn point set. It's going to save us so much time, as we do want multiple runs on this dungeon. Now, this is a low rank dungeon. When you are doing this, you are probably going to be doing a higher rank dungeon. We're going to go ahead and show you guys how to get the Tunturum boss. I definitely said that wrong. I probably said it wrong multiple times throughout this video. You also have the chance to gain the flame blade this way as well. What we're going to do is we're going to create the dungeon, and then you can use runes as well if you want to give yourself a little bit of a boost. And there actually technically is 3 different ways to obtain this boss if we do manage to obtain a rune from the dungeon. But we won't be covering that in this video. But if you don't know what that means, basically you can use runes from dungeons to change the boss at the end, which is really helpful. We can also use rank up and rank down runes to make this even easier for ourselves, but we're not going to for this. We'll just be doing this solo. So let's load into the dungeon, and we're hoping it a really nice quick clear, as it shouldn't be too hard to go ahead and do. At least that's the hope of doing this. I think it's going to be about 9 rooms. Tends to be the average of these type of dungeons. Then 9, yep, we're on ball, we're on point. So we're going to have to clear this. This should be relatively easy to do for most people that are up to date in the game. To be fair, it is a lot stronger than you would think for like this dungeon, especially considering just how low rank is. So honestly, if you're trying to do the higher rank dungeons, you already need to be pretty stacked. So I mean, you've got the basic awakening, you got your shadows leveled up, decent shadows. You look at a really strong shadow build. Because if I'm still being honest, my build is probably still more weapon focused, where to go and do this dungeon properly, you're definitely going to be needing a shadow build or an insane weapon build. It's the build that focuses on both. But hey, we're going to try and get a little better. So I'm also going to start streaming this game as well. No, that isn't actually a tool to do the video. And also, I have missed something. This is what you do not want to do. You do not want to miss anything. I know which one I missed. It's one everybody always misses, or at least I always miss. Actually, no, it's not. It's this one. Well, I'll just pretend that I didn't have it for the sake of the video. And let's keep going on the dungeon. Equally, this dungeon isn't too hard to beat, so it's not like we're desperate for time with it. Although multiple clears would be pretty nice, and you know, helps out a bit. So you always keep in mind you can probably multiple clears if you do everything correctly. Let's keep on taking this out there. Say, this barrier there. And yeah, honestly, these bosses don't have like too many NPCs, don't really have too much health, so doing this solo, the lower ranks, is easy. So if you are just doing it because you basically want to go ahead and obtain the shadow from, like, just have it in general, so you can use the skin, doing dungeons like this is probably the easiest method to do so. Well, it's actually the only real method that's going to be worth your time doing. So if you are just playing it for that reason, stat-wise, this guy is going to probably be most likely terrible at this state. Even all the way up to SS, it still isn't going to be that good. If you are at the point where you can actually beat one that's SS, it's just not going to be worth it for you. But do not worry, we're going to cover some other ways in a bit. But till that point, let's clear this dungeon. Let's go over everything. You can also make sure, if you haven't already, that you are using the right relics. Relics help you out so much in the game. I don't actually have any at the moment, but there is relics that you can go and obtain. So I'll definitely go through your relics, or if not, try and get some more relics, because there's relics that literally just go ahead and boost your, like, Arise chance. So that's what you're really relying on for a dungeon like this, is actually getting the Arise off. Also, there is no enemies left in this room, so we'll move on to the next room. These are some annoying rooms. Equally, for quite a big, at least it's bigger, I feel like, compared to other dungeons nowadays, isn't too bad. And this is probably the reason I missed down the shadow last time. My shadows just gave up. They were like, yeah, we don't want the smoke. But if you're wondering at least what build I'm using for this, it isn't anything too crazy. It's like a C rank throw with a dagger, which again, like I said, is outdated. And then we have these shadows right now, which I am not awakened, so these will be a lot stronger if I was to awaken, and my DPS again would skyrocket. But besides the point, we're still going to get a very nice clear on this here, and that'll definitely give us enough time to go an extra run. If we do try the other version of it, basically we're going to be a lot stronger shadows and probably a lot more damage in general. If you curious about my level or my stats, it's everything the shadow power, so we actually get a little bit of quite a chunky boost from that. You can also make sure you are in a good guild as well. My guild's gonna be a bit of a boost. I mean, hey, it's not crazy, but if you still want to play to join the guild, there's a link down below in the comments section. So I know go apply to do it, make a ticket in the Discord server, and you can join the guild. You don't need to be too good. We're free to take in active players. But yeah, make sure you just got some good stats if you are trying to do this dungeon at the higher levels. But for the lower levels, it should be relatively easy to do. If you are new at starting the game and you're trying to go ahead and do this, like the dungeon method for this, the dungeon method is quite hard, but equally the other method is quite hard. It's the latest island in the game, this boss is, so he's not easy to obtain it anyway. Even at the lower ranks, he'll still be a challenge, especially if you're new. You probably have to do a lot of other things before that to get to this point, but I'll definitely make an updated starter guide at some point. So I haven't actually made a starter guide video in a while. We used to do them like weekly, like every time there was a single update in the game, I would go and make a starter guide for it. And I feel like a lot has changed since recent times. It's probably worth making one, but it's all good there. Let's quickly keep on purging through this right now, as we are very close, at least I feel like we are very close to it. There's 8 out of 9 rooms, and then we'll be able to show the big boss himself, and hopefully manage to rise him, which would be really, really cool if we could. And I made this video a lot simpler to go and do, but then I will go ahead and show you guys the extra method, or the other method you can go and get him. And this other method, you can even go ahead and get him as G rank, which is kind of crazy for him, as you cannot, I believe, get him as G rank normally. But anyway, here he is. We get a cool cutscene for him and everything. And he's going to go and be ours. There's a very high chance of us actually rising him, and there is no, to my knowledge, of rise potions. So we just gotta go in all out. You can also use shadow potions, by the way, to go ahead and increase the damage you're doing if you desperately need so. I doubt you will, and it's probably the cost of doing a shadow potion may not be the cost of going ahead and getting Tunturum. And boom, we managed to rise him, which is really, really cool to see there. So we will not be complaining about this right now. We actually did manage to get the rise off, and bada bing, bada bong, here he is. He's on our team now, and we can actually now showcase the stats, and then I can show you guys the method to obtain it. So if we load back in, now we're ahead and obtained him, we can actually go ahead and have a look at him at the rank we have him at. And do not worry, guys, I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and get him as G rank as well. But let's go ahead and search him up here. This is go and showcase him to you guys. We've got Tunturum right there. And if we go to menus, we can go to index. And then we go all the way to King Dharma City. And let's go ahead and jump straight to SS rank, as this way it's probably going to be used by a chunk you guys. And you can see they're actually some pretty decent stats. And if we give him as G rank, these are the stats that he ends up with. Which, yeah, they're actually really, really good there. I mean, 3.45 QI, at least compared to my other shadows, I believe would make him my, strongest shadow. He's actually slightly weaker than Snow, which is a little bit of a surprise, but he's stronger than Wesso by a lot, so he's like slightly worse than Snow if you guys are curious about him. But the other way to go ahead and obtain him and get him as G rank is by going in and doing the Inferno Castle. Now, if you are trying to go for the G rank one, you want to go to checkpoints, and you want to go to basically floor 25, or possibly above if you can even do that. Then as normal for the Infernal Castle, you're going to have to go and clear floor 1, whatever basically floor this is. I know, like the spawn floor. And then you go through the future floors. And for people that don't know, every 5 floors there'll be a boss. As you basically go on, the higher the rank of the boss. And you can actually get these guys as G ranks. As you can see, there's going to be a boss here, which I believe has to be Westell every time, floor 25. But let's go ahead, go for the Arise. And we actually have the Arise on the Westell as well there, which is kind of nice. But basically from these floors onwards, up to, again, I think there's every increment of basically 25. You can go ahead and obtain something, and you actually can go ahead and be lucky to get Tunturum. And you'll have Tunturum because you'll see him, and if he's there, I believe he's actually by default G rank after 430. But anyway, guys, hopefully this video has been useful to you. If you're trying to play the dungeons, you just have to be every NPC. I mean, I'm hoping you've done, not dungeons, try to do Infernal Castle. I'm assuming you've done Infernal Castle by now. If not, what are you doing? Anyway, guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. And I don't know if there's any videos you want to make, tell me down below in the comment section. See you next one. Bye.